Hello, my name is Dr. Kateryna Metersky, and I'm an assistant professor of nursing at the Daphne Cockle School of Nursing at Toronto Metropolitan University in Toronto, Canada. In terms of the background for the study, the exponential growth in the popularity of Chat-GPT has sparked concerns on academic integrity violations and plagiarism, as students are now able to almost instantaneously complete assignments without much critical thought. Specifically in nursing education, the use of Chat-GPT is concerning, as the development of critical thinking skills is essential for nursing students within the decision-making process to implement patient safe care interventions. So the use of the software cannot replace the knowledge, skill, and judgment to be developed by students and demonstrated in their evolving nursing practice. Although this is a recent concern within the academic community, there are no studies that evaluate whether educators could detect if an assignment was submitted by a student or written through ChatGPT. Thus, the purpose of this research is to learn whether educators can distinguish between AI-generated and student-crafted assignments while evaluating student work in undergraduate nursing theory courses. In terms of the methods, 4 students were handpicked from a second-year undergraduate nursing course that represented a wide variety of backgrounds and grades in that particular course to submit 2 versions of a scholarly paper assignment. One that they wrote by themselves and one that they wrote through Chat-GPT technology. Both versions were blinded and used the same prompts when writing, the same assignment outline. Then they were submitted to me as the educator and evaluator, and I reflected on my experience of how I felt evaluating both versions of the same scholarly assignment. In terms of the findings, I present for you detailed findings on this slide, but I will highlight some of the key findings for you as well. When looking at the AI-generated papers in comparison to student-written papers, these papers were written better grammatically. Looking at the references, AI papers generally relied more on the use of grade literature as well as on organizations and lacked in providing conceptual definitions of key concepts that students were required to use in their papers. As well, the references were largely beyond the 10-year currency requirement for this particular assignment. And when I clicked on these references or tried to locate these references, they did not exist, which is what ChatGPT terms as being hallucinations. In student-generated papers, there were a lot more scholarly references that were included, as well as conceptual depth and conceptual definitions provided. So overall, the AI papers lacked in that critical thinking, the depth in the discussion, even the paragraphs were very short, and the structure of the paper did not go into that level of depth that I had talked about and requested students to include as part of a lecture for this course. Whereas the student-generated papers really included that intricate connection, critical thinking, and application to their evolving nursing practice. In conclusion, AI-written papers and student-written papers can be distinguished, but prompts can reduce differences that were noted. So as students are getting better at introducing and including the various prompts into ChatGPT, this distinguishable difference will become smaller and smaller. And finally, when we look at course assignments, they must take AI technology into consideration. Particularly, as we discussed, it is very important for nursing students to develop their critical thinking skills. So when putting together course assignments, we really need to think as educators on how we can still continue to evolve critical thinking skills in our nursing students in the event that nursing students do go to ChatGPT to generate those course assignments. On this slide, I present for you my references via QR code, and my contact information can be found on the bottom. Thank you for listening.